Stop right there. Before you take another bite of that sad, dense, disappointing baked potato, I need to tell you something that's going to change your potato game forever. Hi, I'm Red Spud, and for the past 20 years, I've been obsessed with potatoes. Growing them, cooking them, and yes, even dreaming about them. Here's the problem. 90% of people are absolutely butchering their russet potatoes, and it's breaking my heart. You're probably making at least 3 critical mistakes right now that are sabotaging your spuds. But here's what I promise you by the end of this video. I'm going to reveal the one secret technique that separates amateur potato cooks from the pros. It's something most people never learn, and it will literally transform every single potato dish you make from this day forward. But first, let's dive deep into the king of potatoes, the mighty russet. Buckle up, because we're about to go on a journey through 20 years of potato wisdom that will make you the hero of every dinner table. Let me take you back 8,000 years to the misty mountains of Peru and Bolivia, where indigenous peoples first discovered these underground treasures. But here's what blew my mind when I first learned this. Potatoes aren't just potatoes. They're actually part of one of the most diverse food families on Earth. Picture this. The potato world is like a massive family reunion. You've got your waxy relatives, those red potatoes and fingerlings that hold their shape like champions. They're the reliable ones who never fall apart under pressure. Then you have your purple cousins, the Instagram stars of the potato world with their antioxidant superpowers. And then, there's our star today, the russet potato. Think of russets as the gentle giants of the potato family. They're the ones who sacrifice themselves completely for the greater good, breaking down into the fluffiest, most ethereal textures you can imagine. The russet Burbank, our modern hero, was actually developed by Luther Burbank in the 1870s. This guy was like the Steve Jobs of potatoes. He created what would become America's most beloved spud. And fun fact that I learned during my first year of growing: Idaho didn't even grow potatoes commercially until the 1890s. Now they're synonymous with perfect russets. I remember when I planted my first russets 20 years ago. I was so naive. I thought all potatoes were basically the same. Boy, was I wrong. That first harvest taught me that russets aren't just different. They're in a league of their own. Look at this beauty. See that rough, netted skin? That's not a flaw. That's a feature. After 2 decades of handling thousands of russets, I can tell you that this russet brown, almost cork-like skin is your first clue that you're holding something special. Watch this. See that pure white, almost ivory flesh. That's the canvas for potato magic. Most russets are oval-shaped, like nature's perfect football, typically weighing between 6 to 10 ounces. But here's what most people don't know. A fresh russet should feel firm and heavy for its size. The skin should have that distinctive netted texture without any green spots. And this is crucial. No soft spots or eyes that are starting to sprout. Here's a pro tip I learned the hard way. If you press your nail into a russet and it doesn't leave a mark, you know you've got a mature, properly stored potato. If it dents easily, it's either too fresh or starting to deteriorate. Size matters with russets, but not how you think. Smaller ones, 170 to 225 grams or 6 to 8 ounces, are perfect for individual baked potatoes. Medium ones, 225 to 340 grams or 8 to 12 ounces, are your workhorses for fries and mashing. And those giant ones over 340 grams or 12 ounces. They're showstoppers, but they can be tricky to cook evenly, something I learned after many disappointing attempts in my early days. Here's where russets become absolutely magical, and this is the science that changed everything for me. Russets are what we call high-starch potatoes. They're packing about 18 to 22% starch content compared to waxy potatoes at only 16 to 18%. But what does that actually mean for your cooking? When you heat a russet, those starch granules swell up and burst, creating air pockets. That's why you get that incredible fluffy texture that makes your heart sing. Now let's talk taste. I've done blind taste tests with hundreds of people over the years, and here's what consistently happens. Russets have this clean, almost neutral potato flavor that's like a blank canvas. They don't compete with other ingredients. They enhance them. Baking. This is where russets absolutely shine. That high starch content creates steam as it cooks, literally puffing up the interior. The result? Pure potato heaven. Frying. Here's where it gets interesting. Those same starches that make them fluffy when baked create the crispiest exterior when fried. The starch on the surface gelatinizes and browns beautifully. Mashing. This is where many people go wrong. Remember, high starch means they break down easily. Overmix them and you'll activate too much starch, creating wallpaper paste instead of creamy mashed potatoes. Roasting. Cut them large, and that fluffy interior contrasts beautifully with crispy edges. It's like getting the best of both worlds. I'll never forget the day I finally understood this. I was trying to make potato salad with russets. Disaster. They completely fell apart because I was working against their nature instead of with it. Growing russets has been one of my greatest teachers. These beauties are surprisingly finicky, and understanding their needs has made me a better cook, not just a better gardener. First, soil. Russets demand well-drained, loose soil with a pH between 6.0 to 7.0. Too alkaline, and they get scab, those rough patches that ruin the perfect skin we love. Too acidic, and they won't size up properly. Timing is everything, but it varies by region. Let me break this down for all my viewers. USA, northern states plant when soil hits 7 to 10 degrees Celsius, 45 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, typically late March to mid-April after the last hard frost. USA, southern states plant in February to March for spring harvest or August for fall harvest. UK, plant from March to May once soil warms to 7 degrees Celsius, 45 degrees Fahrenheit, and frost risk passes. Australia, plant March to May in autumn for winter growing season. Critical frost tip. Russets are absolutely killed by frost. Never plant before your last frost date, and be ready to cover plants if unexpected late frosts threaten. I've learned this lesson twice the expensive way, losing entire plantings to surprise spring frosts. But here's the thing, they need a long growing season, about 90 to 120 days from planting to harvest. In cooler climates like the UK, this means getting them in the ground as early as safely possible after frost risk passes. Temperature-wise, they're Goldilocks plants. They love cool weather for growing, ideally 15 to 21 degrees Celsius, 60 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit during the day. Too hot, and they stop forming tubers. Too cold, and growth slows to a crawl. Water management is where I learned some expensive lessons. Russets need consistent moisture, about 2.5 to 5 centimeters, 1 to 2 inches, per week. But here's the crucial part. Uneven watering creates hollow heart, where the center literally develops cavities. Harvest timing is an art. I wait until the plants have been dead for 2 to 3 weeks. This lets the skin set properly. That's what gives you those beautiful russet brown skins that store so well. From personal experience, I typically get 8 to 12 pounds, 3.6 to 5.4 kilograms, of potatoes per planted pound, 450 grams. But soil conditions and weather can swing that dramatically. My best year yielded 15 pounds per planted pound, 6.8 kilograms per 450 g planted. My worst, only 4 pounds, 1.8 kilograms, after a terrible drought. Here's where I need to debunk some myths. For years, potatoes got a bad rap, but the science tells a different story. A medium russet potato, 150 grams, 5.3 ounces, with skin is nutritional dynamite. Vitamin C. One medium russet provides about 45% of your daily needs. That's more than most people realize, nearly as much as a medium orange. And unlike many vegetables, potatoes actually retain most of their vitamin C during cooking. Potassium is where russets really shine. We're talking 620 milligrams per medium potato. That's more than a banana. This mineral is crucial for heart health and muscle function. The fiber content is impressive too, about 2 grams per potato, mostly in that skin everyone throws away. That's soluble and insoluble fiber working together for digestive health. B vitamins, especially B6, are abundant in russets. B6 is essential for brain function and helps your body convert food into energy. One potato provides about 10% of your daily B6 needs. Now here's something that surprised me when I first researched it. Russets contain flavonoids, the same antioxidants found in berries and tea. They're concentrated in the flesh, just under the skin. The glycemic index story is complex. Yes, potatoes can raise blood sugar, but preparation method matters enormously. A baked russet has a higher glycemic index than a boiled one. Adding fat or protein, think butter, cheese, or sour cream, actually slows sugar absorption. Here's fascinating new research that changed how I eat potatoes. Studies suggest that when you do eat carbohydrates, eat them at the start of your meal, not the end. This helps with better blood sugar management and satiety. So serve those mashed potatoes first, then your protein and vegetables. I've been eating potatoes daily for 20 years, and my doctor is always amazed by my potassium levels and overall health markers. The key is preparation and portion control, not avoidance. Russets aren't just American potatoes. They've conquered the world. Let me take you on a cultural journey that spans continents. We can't talk potato culture without mentioning Ireland. While the original Irish potatoes were different varieties, modern Irish cuisine has embraced russets for their incredible versatility. Traditional colcannon, mashed potatoes with cabbage, reaches new heights with fluffy russets. In Britain, russets revolutionized fish and chips. Those thick, fluffy chips that are crispy outside and steamy inside, that's pure russet magic. I spent a week in London learning from chip shop masters, and every single one swore by russets. Here in America, russets are comfort food royalty. The loaded baked potato became a restaurant staple in the 1970s, and it's still going strong. There's something deeply satisfying about a properly baked russet topped with butter, sour cream, chives, and cheese. French cuisine elevated the humble potato with pommes de terre, from simple gratins to elegant fondant potatoes. Julia Child always insisted on russets for her famous mashed potatoes, and after trying her technique, I understood why. But my favorite cultural significance is personal, family dinners. I've served russets at thousands of family meals over 20 years. There's something about passing around a bowl of perfectly mashed russets that brings people together. It's comfort, tradition, and love all rolled into one. My go-to family recipe is what I call perfect russet mash. Yukon Golds might be trendy, but properly made russet mashed potatoes, with just butter, cream, and salt, are transcendent. The key is the temperature of your additions and never overmixing. After 20 years of buying, growing, and storing russets, I've developed a system that ensures perfect potatoes every time. Selection first. I pick up every single potato, weight matters. A good russet should feel heavy for its size, indicating proper moisture content. The skin should be firm with that characteristic netted texture. Red flags. Any green tinge means solanine development, bitter and potentially toxic. Soft spots indicate decay starting from the inside. Eyes that are actively sprouting mean the potato is past its prime for eating. Storage is where most people go wrong. Russets need three things: darkness, coolness, and air circulation. I store mine in a dark pantry at 7 to 10 degrees Celsius, 45 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, with good ventilation. Never refrigerate russets. Cold temperatures convert starches to sugars, giving you sweet, oddly colored potatoes that brown weirdly when cooked. I learned this the hard way when I first started cooking. Use breathable containers, burlap sacks, paper bags with holes, or ventilated bins. Plastic bags trap moisture and accelerate sprouting and rot. Properly stored russets last 2 to 4 weeks in ideal conditions. Check them weekly, removing any that show signs of sprouting or soft spots. One bad potato can spoil the whole batch. Pro tip from my restaurant days: separate potatoes by size when storing. Larger potatoes tend to age faster, so use them first. This simple system prevents waste and ensures you always have good potatoes on hand. Ready for some potato mind benders? After 20 years in the potato world, I've discovered uses that will absolutely blow your mind. Industrial starch production is huge business. Russet starch becomes everything from biodegradable plastics to paper strengtheners. That high starch content we love for cooking makes them industrial workhorses too. Alcohol production. Some premium vodkas are made exclusively from potatoes. The clean, neutral flavor profile that makes russets perfect for cooking also makes exceptional spirits. I've toured potato vodka distilleries. Fascinating process. Here's a fun one for kids. Russets make excellent batteries. The phosphoric acid in potatoes conducts electricity. I've powered LED lights with potato batteries. Not practical, but amazing science education. Beauty applications. Raw potato slices can reduce under-eye puffiness and dark circles. The vitamin C and mild acids provide gentle exfoliation. I've never tried this personally, but my wife swears by it. Cleaning uses. Cut russets can clean tarnished silverware and remove scuff marks from floors. The mild acids and starches work as natural cleaners. Gardening trick. I use sprouted russets as compost activators. Those same enzymes that break down the potato help decompose other organic matter faster. Culinary innovations I've experimented with: potato flour for gluten-free baking, dehydrated potato powder for instant mashed potatoes, and potato starch as a thickening agent that's clearer than cornstarch. World records. The largest potato ever grown was a russet weighing 18 pounds. Imagine the fries you could make from that monster. All right, it's time. I promised you the secret that separates amateur potato cooks from the pros, and here it is. Temperature control. Not just cooking temperature, internal temperature monitoring. After 20 years and thousands of disappointed diners, I learned that perfect russet cooking isn't about time. It's about internal temperature. For perfect baked potatoes, 96 to 99 degrees Celsius, 205 to 210 degrees Fahrenheit, internal temperature. For mashing, remove from heat at exactly 93 degrees Celsius, 200 degrees Fahrenheit. For frying, pre-cook to 71 degrees Celsius, 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Then finish at 175 degrees Celsius, 350 degrees Fahrenheit oil temperature. This one technique, measuring internal temperature instead of guessing, will transform every single potato dish you make. It eliminated guesswork from my cooking and can do the same for yours. We've covered incredible ground today, from the mountains of Peru to your dinner table, from industrial applications to family comfort food. The mighty russet potato truly is remarkable. 20 years ago, I thought I knew potatoes. Today, I'm still learning new things about these incredible tubers. The science, the culture, the pure joy of a perfectly cooked potato. It never gets old. Now I want to hear from you. Drop a comment and tell me, what's your biggest potato cooking disaster? If this deep dive into russet potatoes got you excited about cooking, smash that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I'm planning videos on every major potato variety, plus advanced cooking techniques that will make you the potato master in your kitchen. Remember, every great meal starts with understanding your ingredients. Treat your russets with respect, follow the science, and they'll reward you with some of the most satisfying food experiences of your life. Until next time, keep those spuds perfect and happy cooking.